I'm Jim Hoft, and I run Gateway Pundit, and it's a website I started in 2004. I found this word blogs and researched conservative blogs and found several of these people who were talking. To me, it felt like a different language. It was different than the usual grind I was used to from the New York Times, or Washington Post, or what you read at ABC or something. And I was reading these pieces, a couple prominent blogs at the time, Instapundit and Powerline. They were writing not they would take the article and then they'd point out what they thought was maybe inaccurate, and then they'd give facts, and then so it was completely different language. It wasn't you weren't just being force fed, but you were actually reading something with some analysis and a slightly different slant, and it was so intriguing. I really felt like they were speaking a different language, because I have grown up, in the system here in the U.S. and the culture and the environment we have media-wise. And so it was just, it was one of those experiences, an aha moment. And so then after the election, I had been reading blogs for a while. I thought, heck, I'm going to start one, And I started one on Google generic, page they had that cost me nothing. And I started writing some things. I had a couple readers at the time. My twin brother and a friend of mine, Chris, an engineer. And it grew from there. I just wrote every day. I enjoyed writing. I started getting some attention. Fox News was putting some of my articles up, and CNN has mentioned me, and Wall Street Journal was putting me on the opinion page and different things. So it was pretty exciting. Now, this was before YouTube. It was before Facebook. It was before you could put any videos up even. And most people didn't even put pictures up on the internet then. It was just a completely different animal than what it is today. So I started and I built up a pretty good audience. And then all of a sudden, and there was no ads either. Nobody was making money off it. But I enjoyed having the success that maybe my articles were being recognized in different places. So that's what kept me going. And then it grew and grew, and I was in 2007. I went with Andrew Breitbart to Israel. First time I met him, a special trip that some people invited us on. In 2012, I left my work because I started. That's then sometime at some point the ads started paying off, and so I had 50,000 readers a day, and so I started making more money than I did at my position where I worked in corporate world for 20 years. I left my job before the 2012 election, and I've been blogging ever since. So it's amazing. I started it out as just a hobby and something that I thought was fun, and then it turned into a career, and now it's turned into I don't know a movement. It's more than just a career. It's something that's really totally about me. I love to write. I love to look up stories.